What's going on, y'all? Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time, if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. I'm Real King, and in this video, guys, I want to talk to y'all about fear. Now, specifically fear in terms of traveling, especially as a solo traveler, and which I am going to be. And so I've been watching, a few YouTubers' videos, and a lot of them are solo travelers. And, pretty interestingly to me, a lot of these solo travelers are even women. And I never knew that that was something a lot of women prefer to do, but that is what they prefer to do. And so that really kind of gave me an idea. And as these solo travelers that I see a lot of the women doing, they're not really confined to one, specific country or any place like that. They really just bounce around. They go different places and stuff. And so I noticed something a tad bit different, or actually quite a bit different for the men, though. They pretty much find a destination and that's where they go, whether that be Thailand. They're trying to set up shop there and live there. Whether that be Brazil, staying there. They're not just going to place, to place to place. And I just found that to be pretty interesting. Now, I'm not saying that there are not male solo travelers that are not doing that. But I've just seen a lot more. I personally have seen a lot more on YouTube that, kind of post up and stuff. But with all that being said, it really kind of gave me an idea, because there's so many places that I really want to go. And I'm just like, well, I kind of want to go to different places. I don't want to just have to be here, whatever. I mean, not have to be there, but I want to, be here for a little bit and then go to other places and stuff like that, because I really want to see more than just, this one spot. So with all that being, in my mind and everything like that, I figured, okay, well, what I'm going to need to start doing is really kind of, getting things, kind of tightened up, and, we need to start making some moves. So what that means for me is, and I've been kind of getting stuff kind of, removed and thrown away. And it's just kind of weird, because as I've been throwing things away, I've been kind of feeling a certain way, you know what I mean? It's just like, wow, it's really happening, I'm really going to be doing this, and, as I am thinking about different places, or, that I may go, just different thoughts, that simple things, different climates, different, being exposed to different types of, smells, or different things, maybe diseases, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? So just those kind of things, and how I may, how my body is going to, respond and react to that kind of stuff, just those kind of simple things. Or my living quarters, I'm used to, I know the, the bugs that are in, in my area, in Houston. I know about what's here. But if I go to another country, and, just being, in the living quarters where I may be at, there may be, bugs out there that are normal, but are not normal to me, because I'm not from there, that may crawl around me, stuff like that, kind of starts to concern me and stuff, what to do if I get bit by something, or if I, different, what if there's a type of food, or fruit or vegetable that my body's not used to or whatever. Excuse me. And I consume it and it has a bad reaction to me, something like that. So I mean, there are certain, fears that I noticed myself starting to have, more recently and stuff, and I try not to, let that, get the best of me or whatever like that. But it's something that does happen. And I'm not sure if any other, solo travelers out there, if they've done that or had those kind of feelings, but I know I've been having a few of them, but I kind of think it should be normal. Um, there's a lot of things that I think that we take for granted because it's just kind of like everyday stuff to us. But just like the way we do things, I think I would, as an example, let's say for instance, different hand gestures that we make here that, are offensive in other countries, so we can't do certain hand gestures or make certain, type of, certain words or something like that. You know what I mean? So I think, or what about jaywalking? I think in certain countries, jaywalking is actually illegal. So there's things like that I need to make sure that I study upon, whenever, wherever I'm planning to go and stuff like that, because I don't want to be doing anything that may be offensive to anyone in those countries or anything like that. So like I said, as I get closer, to my goal and stuff like that, these are things that I'm starting to think about, and so it's good. One of the other things, that I was that I was kind of concerned with at first, and it's probably with anybody, but I really wanted to use myself as the example, purposefully, because I want to show people, with my channel, like, look, if I can do it, you guys can do it, and what I'm really trying to, get over to you guys is when you put your mind to something that you really want to achieve, you'll be able to achieve it. It's really just mind over matter. You really have to be narrow, one track minded with it, being focused is what I mean. You know what I'm saying? And, you can achieve anything that you want. And so I enjoy a challenge, but my main thing is I'm very intelligent. So I want to make sure that I can show you guys how to overcome these hurdles that you might have, in front of you when it comes to, achieving, your goals and stuff like that. So, anyways, with that being said, that was kind of, like I said, that was a kind of a main one that, was a concern, with me as far as, fears and stuff like that, in another country. Um, you don't know, you don't know what their laws are or what's okay over there. So sometimes you need to just make sure that, you try your best to ask, or don't do things, or watch how other people do things and stuff like that. So you can kind of get a good idea or whatever. But I think other than that, that's probably that I can think of. That's probably like the main kind of fears when it comes to, and I think, I was thinking at first transportation might be something that, would be a concern, but I've been watching enough videos and how a lot of people are saying how easy it is to get around with these public transportation places like in Thailand and stuff like that. I've heard about the same thing in Brazil as well, so that's good. So I won't think that that will be any issues with me, when I go there, you know, using public transportation and stuff like that. Um, One concern, okay, I just remembered a huge concern, guys, and this is a real concern. This is a real concern to anybody. It's not even just certain people, as I once thought. It's literally anybody, and that is in Brazil the constant um, the constant, how would I put it, not really fear, but having to worry about your phone, and I would say in this case your mobile, like your cameras and things like that, being out and about, because there is a huge pickpocket or yeah, like, theft problem in Brazil. Mainly, from what I understand, phones. Um, and a lot of people get. I know somebody in Brazil who got their phone taken recently, and there was a YouTuber who visited Brazil and started doing some footage out there for his YouTube channel. And within, I think the first day or so, he got his iPhone snatched, and it had like all of his work and stuff like that in it, because I think that's what his main phone was. Um, Coming from like Asia or something like that, or Japan, I can't remember exactly where, but yeah. So that's a major problem in that country, is getting your phone jacked. Like, it's so huge, and so um, like right now, I am using my Extra Muse handheld camera right now for this video. I do have a lanyard that I could put around my arm, so yeah, that does help to some degree. I would think, but in the process of it getting jacked, if it falls down, if you're in the ride or something like that, and so it could get damaged. So I would make sure that you have insurance on your devices. I think I don't hear enough people talk about that. It's kind of surprising when I hear people talk about their phones getting stolen and stuff like that in these other countries. Now, if there's something I don't understand and know, then that's one thing. But you have the option, especially as Americans. Again, if it's something that I'm missing, then let me know. But we can get insurance put on our phones, and insurance would normally cost, or excuse me, it would normally cover, loss or theft, damaged devices, stuff like that. So you can file a claim if your device is lost or stolen or broken or whatever like that, and you would get it replaced. So my thing is, if I'm going to leave to another country and I have expensive devices with me, like, I'm getting them insurance. I would get them. I'm going to make sure I get insurance to make sure my items are insured, because just knowing that something could happen in a country that you're going to, because that's kind of what, in a sense, that's what happens in that country, then you definitely want to make sure that you are secured, just in case. You know what I'm saying? You just want to make sure. So having insurance on your items that you want to make sure are protected is something that's awesome to have beforehand. So I think that was one of the things that I was kind of concerned with at first, because I had heard about that, and I'm just like, well, dang. So because I want to go, one of the places I want to go to is Brazil, and mainly because I want to see a lot of that outdoor nature, that they have there, and it would be so awesome for my channel for me to, capture all that they have there and stuff. They have beautiful plants, water systems, stuff like that, all everywhere, waterfalls, and just different kind of wildlife and things like that around. So that's something that I really wanted to get, and not have to be worried about, somebody snagging my phone or something like that. Of course, maybe that would be more in the more touristy areas, not someplace. And if I find myself going to those touristy areas, which it's not a bad thing for me to do, but making sure that, hey, if I do, or whenever I do go there, if I go to Rio, then make sure that if I have if I'm going to take out my phone, I want to capture something, do it during the daytime. Do it during the daytime. At nighttime, don't even chance it. Just don't even chance it, unless you are in a remote area or you're around, somebody that's, if you're not around a bunch of, questionable areas, stuff like that. But just being smart, be overly cautious, and definitely be smart. Watch around your surroundings and be smart. So that's something that I would do if I want to be able to take advantage of, hey, I want to be able to film this or to capture this moment. So, you know what I'm saying? That's definitely what I want to do. So if I'm going to do that, I'm going to be smart enough to know, okay, if is this the right time? If not, I'm going to do it later. You know what I'm saying? So knowing the right areas in the countries that I will be going to are safe or not. Okay, I hope I said that right. But I know, like a place like Brazil, there are certain areas that at least the locals know are sketchy or are kind of not so safe areas. More or less called the favelas, okay? And in, I would say in America, they would be called the projects, the hood, the ghetto, you know what I'm saying? So that's the equivalence. So yeah. Um, Now, every hood, even in America, you got to respect it, accordingly. And some are worse than others, etc., etc. So, that is how it is. And so, in saying that, you just need to be. I will be more overly cautious. Like I already know, and I'm an American going to Brazil. I'm like, look, I'm not even really trying to go to the favelas. I know not right now. Like maybe it's some time later, but not right now. Not when I'm just now coming here. Like I'm trying to chill and not be around that kind of stuff. I don't know enough for me to go to the favelas right now. So you know what I'm saying? So that's how I would approach that, because I just don't know enough. And I'm not going there. I know enough other areas in Brazil that I want to go to that really don't have that kind of a stigmata as far as a stigmatism, excuse me, of being a dangerous place or anything like that, like Sao Paulo, Curitiba, I think is another place, and a few others, So, but anyways, I think those are the main ones that I was more or less concerned with, or that I had more fear about. Um, um, I don't have too many places right now that I am thinking about going to. I think right now really just was Thailand, maybe some places around there, and then Brazil, possibly Portugal, um, and possibly Colombia. So those are probably a couple other places that are on my radar to go to right out the gate. But we'll see. But I've just I'm getting stuff prepared, guys. Like as you guys can see, finally got my hair done. I'm just trying to get things ready. And the reason why I'm getting my hair done, I said this, I forgot to tell y'all, but I wanted to make sure that before that, I wanted to make sure that photo or my looks good for my photo for my passport. So I wanted to make sure that my hair was done, before I got my passport done. So I'm getting close to getting my passport. Hopefully, in the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna make my appointment to go get my passport, and that way my hair will look nice and it'll be all together for my photo and stuff like that. Because my hair hadn't been done in so many. It's been like over a year and a half or something like that since my hair's been done, guys. So it's been needing it. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe if you guys haven't already. Hit the notification bell so that way you guys are notified when my videos are uploading. I'm Real King, guys. Y'all take it easy.